Hi, everyone, and welcome to this Thursday, June 30th, London session with your host, DreDayFX. So, as we do every Thursday, is we look at the market overall and review previous signals that were sent out with our DreDayFX Enigma AI system. And if you have any questions on how the system works or pair specifically, I'll be glad to answer those questions. So I'm gonna start at the top of the hour here. So should be 3:05 Eastern Standard Time. So in about 5 minutes. So I just want to make sure that the link is sent out to everyone in the Elevated Effects community. And if you're a free member or you're on my YouTube channel or on the DreDayFX channel, welcome. So we're going to start in a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to make sure that the link is out and we're going to start. So bear with me. So I'll start at 3:05 here. Okay. So welcome for everyone. Hello, welcome everyone. So I just want to make sure that the link is out. So we're going to start. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, Leon. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And what time is it in your area, Leon? Just drop it in the chat. I want to make sure that I know exactly the difference in the time zone. I know you're in Croatia right now. So, oops. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, perfect. Good morning, everyone. Perfect. So we're gonna start maybe 2 minutes here. I just want to make sure that everything is good on my end. So let's see. All right. So let's see here. Okay, so 9 a.m. Okay, so it's a perfect time for you guys. Okay, perfect. All right. So I'll know exactly for next time. So I know that you guys, most of you are in the boot camp. So if you don't know what is the boot camp and you're not in EFX yet, is that we do we have an actual community that wants to pass funded account using our system. So we help our members here to get some pointers on how to use the products with fundamentals and technical analysis, and help you overall passing the funded accounts here. So we're going to have some more sessions here in the future. So I should be able to get a more London session for you guys, and even New York session, and give you some pointers here overall, maybe some strategies at the same time for trading overall. Perfect. Okay, so let me share my screen. So we're gonna start. Make sure. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so type the number one if you could see my screen. You should be good now. Okay, so yeah, I think we good here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is if you have any pairs personally that you wanted to look at for this week, we're gonna look at them at the same time. But for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tell you exactly the process on how I personally trade the market using the products that we offer. Okay, especially for the Enigma AI system. So first, I'm just going to share for you exactly the first part is the commitment of traders. Okay, so what is a commitment of traders? Is basically the actual bias of all of the traders here all around the world related to the commercial contracts. Okay, the commercial contracts are basically what the difference between the goods, the transfer of goods here within the country. So let's say Canada, the U.S., New Zealand, British, the British pound specifically, and all those currencies, and we add them together, the actual commercial contracts, to give us a bias overall. Okay, and that's what I give to our members every week. Okay, and I do give them on my YouTube channel with an actual bias, but what I say, and I'm always going to repeat it, is that I do not use the actual bias that is given from the commitment of traders. I only use the currency that the community of traders is giving me. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat that. I do not use the bias. Okay, I only use the currency pairs that is shown related to the bias. Okay, why I'm doing that is that the market will move whatever it wants. So it could be a bias for a buy for the week, but it may be a sell overall for the week. So I only trade exactly what I see. Okay. I don't want to trade what I think it's going to go, right? I only trade exactly what the market gives me. Okay. So that's why I give only the currency pairs. Okay, that are related, that give me an actual bias. So basically, buy or sell overall with the community of the traders, but I never put an actual direction. Okay, I know that people want to trade direction, so that's why I put it on my YouTube channel. But me personally, I do not trade the bias. Okay, so that's give you an extra edge here. Okay, so at the same time, you have the big movers. What is considered big mover is something that has more than that has a big swing. Okay, in the market. Okay, so I'm not going to give you more details of what I consider, like the way that I look at the big movers. If you want to have more details, you have to be a member for that. I know that most of our current members know exactly what I'm talking about, and I showed them on our weekly session here last Tuesday, 2 days ago, and did a breakdown here on that. Okay, so when you have that framework, that first part of your framework, second part that I have to look at is what currency will be looked at for the week. Okay, so I could have a what I do here is I look at those movers, the big movers, and depending on the biggest mover of those four, okay, I will trade the currency. Okay, and those are not put in actual order. Okay, so it's only given to our members. But I'll give you an example. If it's euro, I'm going to trade for the week because I consider that as a big mover. I'm only going to focus on euros. Okay, the euro pairs. Same thing for British pound. If it's British pound that I want to trade for the week, I only look at British pound pairs or anything that has British pound in it. So euro GBP and the other British pounds. Same thing for the yen. I have the yen here. I have the yen here. And I have the yen here. And CHF, last one. We have CHF here. We got CAD CHF, Euro CHF. Okay. And USD CHF. Perfect. So when I have that as a guide, okay, so that's really the second part of when I use my COT. I go to the charts and I look for my setups. Okay, and how do you look for your setup is with the Enigma AI system. Okay, so if you have the FX discovery package, at least you're gonna have the COT information, and you're gonna have the FX setup. Okay, so the FX setup give you access to the currency pairs that are triggered with the Anima AI system, and it's based on a 1 hour chart only. But if you have the full access of the Anima AI system, you're able to trade the 30-minute time frame to have access to, and you could set up your own alerts. Okay, so how to set up your own alerts? You're gonna have an actual guide on how to do that on our DreDayFX website before you access the service. So they're gonna tell you exactly how to set up everything, and you're gonna be able to have access to that. Okay, but by courtesy, you have the FX setup that is sent out every time that we do have a setup here on the hourly basis. Okay, from Monday to Friday. Okay, so when you add the COT with the FX setup, you know exactly what to look at for the market. Okay, and you have to decide exactly based on market structure and the fundamentals that we already looked at with the COT, if it makes sense to take the trade or not. Okay, so so we're gonna look at let me check. I'm just gonna see if we have any setup that came in right now. No, nothing yet. So maybe we'll have a setup here at 4. So in this session, I always start at 3 until 4-ish. So if we have a setup at 4 that is live, we're just gonna review that before closing the session here. Okay, and it's really an interaction session. So if you have any questions or you want to look at a specific pair, we're gonna look at it right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna review the setups here that we had for the beginning of the week. So the week started on the 27. When you trade, you don't know your dates, and especially if you're working from home, that's good too. So 27. Okay, so we started on 27, and we're at the 30th today. So let's go back on the 27th. Okay. So 27. Okay. So let's look at I'm going to start with CAD-JPY. So CAD-JPY was in correlation with my COT. So if we go back on COT at CAD-JPY here, okay? Why I was looking at CAD-JPY, same framework. CAD-JPY was related to the COT list, and especially with the big mover, okay? So we have JPY. So let's go back. CAD-JPY, that was the entry price and the TP. Okay, so how are you gonna be trading those setups? Okay, it's not I've never considered those as actual signal alerts. Okay, I always look at those as trade ideas. Okay, why? Because it could make sense to take the signal or the trade idea or not, based on market structure and your analysis. Okay, so let's go back here in the chart and look at CAD-JPY. And right now the CAD is melting down. So if you know how to trade without getting with the alerts, that's a good setup here to take. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be going in that region here at least, or maybe this one region. So That's a pointer here for you guys. But let's look at the actual alert. Okay, so I have two Enigma AI here on the chart. The reason why is that we have one version is 1.0 and the second version is 1.1. So the FX setup signals that you're send out that are sent out is related to the 1.1 version. And if you want to have the signals for 1.0, you have to set it up on your own chart and get the alert for the 1.0. So I'm only going to be looking at the 1.1 for now. So that's really a pointer for you guys. So 1.1 is going to see here, cat buy. So I'm pretty sure that was on the 27th. Okay, so let's look at it. It's gonna do a replay. I'm just gonna see if it's gonna work here. So that was let's see. That signal here was at 2. Okay. Okay. To be able to do like a replay and add multiple setups here on your chart, you may have to upgrade your TradingView account. Okay. So that's why we give access to the actual signals here for multiple pairs, because if you have the free TradingView account, you only able to get one alert per for one pair. Okay, so we are aware of that, so that's why we're giving you the setups here on the FX setup channel, so that way you're still able to get a notification on your Discord app through your phone, or you could set if you're able to get the upgraded TradingView account, you're able to set up your own alert and get an actual alert on your phone or on your computer, depending exactly on how you trade. Okay, so let's do a replay here. Okay, so I could show you exactly how you're getting the setups here overall. Okay, perfect. So as you could see, I'm just going to make sure that that's the actual alert that came in with the price. Yes, perfect. Since I didn't know exactly which hour the alert came in, it confirmed me exactly. I'm just going to zoom in. Perfect. So this is the actual candle that triggered the entry price and the TPs. Okay, so we have to wait until this candle close. So the 2-hour candle close. So at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you receive this alert for a catch APY for a buy. Okay, so how do you enter the market on that? I'm just gonna okay, so how do you enter the market? You have two options. You could enter at market execution, so at the open of the candle, or you could put a pending order at the entry price that is shown here. Okay, so the entry price here was 104.8263. So usually it's going to give you a range, or it's going to give you an actual price. Okay, so if you have the price twice, so it says this price to this price, that means that this is the price that we're expecting to have a better entry. Okay, so the price is right here. Okay, so that's the price here. But as you could see, sometime it's not gonna fill you if you do a pending order. Okay, so in the best ability is to enter as market execution, or at the lowest price possible based on the candle formation. Okay, so let's continue. So here it filled you as a pending order at that entry price. Okay, so if let's say you entered it at market execution, we will already be in drawdown of around what? Let's see. So that's 95 and 81. So already if you entered it at market execution, it will be around 14 pips in drawdown. Or if you entered it in at pending order, it will be less than a pip. Okay. So let's continue. So that's a good setup. So we would already entered it for a buy. Let's look what it did afterwards. Here, drawdown again, but lower than the entry price, right? So it will be in a drawdown and then drawdown here. There you go. So here it almost hit your TP1. Okay, depending exactly on your spread, you should be good. Here, hit your TP1. So that for me is considered as a winning trade. Okay, and what I do personally is I remove more than half of my position and make sure that my if I added my stop loss like right here, I put my stop loss as break even, and I remove at least 50% of my position, and I just let the rest ride, and I could put my other TP at TP2 or the full TP at TP3. But you have to look at where you're at in the market to see if it makes sense to put your TP your TPs, your next TP zone at TP2 or TP3. Okay, so I never put my full TP. Okay, I always look at least TP2 to remove at least almost maybe 90% of my position, and I let the rest ride afterwards. Okay, so let's continue. You see, after on that candle, it stopped you out. But here, if you followed exactly the actual framework that I usually do, you would be out at your entry price. It would be at break even for the rest of your position. So at least you have 50% that was in profit, and the other 50% was break even. So at the end, you secured the bag, like we say, and you make sure that you're not in negative here if you let your trade go back to your stop loss. So that's why you have to manage your trade properly to make sure that you secure your profit here and make sure that your account is in the green. Okay, so maybe someone will see that pattern, that setup as a loss, but it's not a loss. Okay, it's a win overall. Okay, so let's I'm just gonna continue again, but I'm just gonna close it out. And as you could see, after it went to your stop loss or your break even, it went back up and it gave you another setup here. and that was at let's see here at 12. And if we go back on the FX setup here, let's see, should have another CAD setup. There you go. Give you another entry right here. Okay. So if your bias is still a buy overall, right? And it follows your framework overall, you could re-enter the setup right here, and it did touch your pending order for a buy, or if you entered for a buy at market execution, you really still have a bigger drawdown if you do market execution than a pending order. But afterwards, you see it went up, went down. So basically, you had like two opportunities to get in, and if you go on the low time frame, you should see another better setup here to enter. If you entered, you waited to enter right here, and then it just shoot up. Okay, and went to almost TP3, but same framework. At TP1, I removed 50%. TP2, another maybe 90%, and I let the rest ride. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So maybe target number two, if you understood exactly the thought process here of what to look at, if you start with a COT and then you look at the FX setup, you look at the chart, and you look at your entry, if you want to do an entry for market execution or not, or pending order, and the way that I exit the market here overall. So target number two, if you understood that. And at the same time, we're just gonna ask you guys to maybe enter a currency pair that you want me to revise, and we're gonna look at it together. So I don't know if you understood everything, or we could continue with other pairs. Like I said, guys, it's an interactive session, so I'm not gonna be here and just talk. So perfect, Leon. So that's pretty good. And did you apply exactly what we talked about on Tuesday regarding the COT in depth with the numbers and everything like that? If you have any questions on that, I know that you had a few questions here on Tuesday, so I just want to make sure that it's clear for you. All right, great, perfect. Great. Okay. So, is there any like currency pair you want me to look at and see exactly how would trade it, or if you have any questions on a trade that didn't make sense for you or that you lost and want to know have an explanation on why you lost? Because like I said, you don't need to take all of the trade ideas that I sent out on the FX setup, right? We're not copying and pasting what we're seeing here. We want to make sure that we look at the currency pair and see exactly if it makes sense to take the trade, if it's in the same direction, and then you execute based on your framework, right? Because most you may have setups that look like they look good, but it wouldn't make sense to take it, right? So that's what we're trying we're educating everyone to do. And if you want to have like more in-depth education on the Anima AI system, make sure to upgrade your account to the FX Mastery. That way, you're gonna have access to our educators. So you have IT, institutional trader. You have the Asian sniper, that is Osman David, and you have myself here in DreDayFX regarding of the COT specifically here. Okay, so so you're gonna have some sessions here, especially for the boot camp. If you have the yearly package, you're gonna have access to the boot camp regarding of the funding accounts to be able to fund your to help you pass your prop firm assessments. So we'll give you more pointers here than the FX Mastery monthly package to help you get fully funded and uh, give you some strategies here for trading overall. So since there's no other questions, I'm just going to look at other setups related to the COT. So let's see. Next setup here we have GBP and ZD. I think we had it. I had it in my list. No, it's not there. So let's pass on it. USD ZAR for sell. So that was on the 28th, and I had it on my list. It's not in the big movers, but I'm just gonna see exactly if it made sense for it. Let's look. Okay, USD early USD buy setup. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna look at it right now, and then I'm gonna look at the USD ZAR for you afterwards. Let's see. So euro USD for a buy. Okay. So let's look. Leon, I think you use the 1.0 version, right? Just want to make sure that that's the one that you were looking at, or it was on the 1.1. And which date it was? Was it today or yesterday or 2 days ago? I'm just gonna open. Okay, so it was today 1.1. So that would be okay. So same. Just want to make sure. 1.1. Close that. Let me go back here. Okay. So at what time was the setup, Leon? Yeah, it washed you out. Okay. So let me do a replay and Just gonna do a replay because if we still have some repainting issue, I'm just gonna pass it on to our development team, because when I put the yeah, I don't see it neither here. Oh, okay. I think I saw it here. But that was for a buy, Leon? Because the actual market structure was overall for a sell since the 28th. Okay. This looks bearish. Okay, so that was at 9 a.m. Okay. It took TP1. Okay, was a sell setup. Okay, it was a sell setup. Okay, got it. Okay, so that's what I just saw, and it went out. Exactly. Okay, so that's what I just saw set up here. Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is the setup that you saw, and it went out. Let's look at. Okay, I'm just gonna do a replay again, so I can know which candle it did that. It said a 9, but okay, I got it. Okay. So let's put an horizontal line. And as you can see, if it vanished like that, Leon, that means in the back end, that means that wasn't a good setup to take. But let's look at where we were in the market. So I just put it horizontal line, and let's look at the H4. Okay. Okay, let's go on the weekly. Okay, so yeah, Euro USD was bearish for weeks and weeks and weeks, but we're just going to see exactly what made the price switch. Okay. So if I look at the weekly, we have a region right here that the price is expecting to go. Okay. And I'm just going to put it as a horizontal line right here. And I'm pretty sure you see the price action here that I'm explaining. I don't want to go in details on that, but here on let's see here in March we have we have the last bearish week before last bullish week, sorry, before the price went down. Okay, so we're going to be expecting the price to go back up to that region eventually in the next few weeks. So I'm pretty sure I'm expecting to have Euro USD as bullish eventually to switch to for bullish. And as we could see, it went the lowest that it went. It's right here, and then it tried to retest it 2 weeks ago. Okay, so when we go back, if we go back on the 4 hour, 6 hour, no, sorry, 4 hour, let's look at why it reversed here. Okay, so if we look on the left, we always look at what happened on before, so we could have an explanation of what's going on here. Okay, so we had a bullish candle, right? That I always consider as imbalance. Okay, because when you see a candle like this, that means that eventually the price wants to fill this candle before reversing to go back up. And that was the last push down to fully fill this candle. Okay, so I put my horizontal line right here at the start of the candle, and let's go on the 1 hour. Okay, so that was the start of the 4 hour move, and as you could see, big imbalance here. You had how many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. For 6 hours, it went up without no hesitation. So that's an indication that this is an imbalance price. So yes, it was expecting to go still going down. My idea for this price for Euro USD is to go in this region. But now it seems that there's some resistance right here to go down, and it has to go down, but it seems that it didn't went down right now. Okay, so that's really price manipulation right here, and I would expect still for a sell, but there was too much liquidity right here. That's why it pushed up the price to go down, go back down right now. So this is an honest loss. Okay, so it was a good setup. It followed exactly your framework, Leon, but the market decided to go the other way, and it is what it is. Okay, but I'm expecting to go the price to look at the price to still go down, at least in that region. If they don't go there, that means that they're going to retest previous highs to go down. So if we look at this, it may go here. I'm just gonna put so it may go here to go down, or it can go right here to go up. Okay. But next, I'm expecting to have the price do this first. So go down in this region to go to test the previous low, just to fill the imbalance, and then shoot up. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting here, because it's still bearish here overall, but we have region here that needs to be retested to see exactly what needs to be done. Okay. Please check DM. Okay, so I'll check the DM afterwards. Let's see. I'm just gonna go here. Got it. Okay. So perfect, no problem. Yeah. So thanks for the screenshot, Leon. I'm gonna pass it on to our development team to see exactly why it should, even though it's a loss, we should see it still in the charts here. Okay, not only in the back test, but on the live feed. Perfect. So let's look at the time. Okay. So is there any other yeah, I'm gonna look at the USD ZAR. I was going to look at, yes, USD ZAR. Leon, was it clear for you for Euro USD? Let me know. I'm just gonna go on the USD ZAR chart. All right. So let's see. So USD ZAR, we had it as a sell, and that was on the 28th. And I'm just gonna make sure that the okay, so that setup came in at let me see. I'm just gonna do a replay. I'm pretty sure that was this setup here. It was at midnight, if I remember. Okay, let's look at the price. So 85.25. Yes, exactly. Okay. Same principle here. That candle close. This is the candle that gives you the entry price and the stop loss and the TP region, right? So you enter it here on the next candle. You could put a pending order or market execution for sell. And let's see, it went. So as you can see, it went to TP2, TP1 on this candle. Same principle. You close out 50%. That's my model. 50% of your position. Put your stop loss at break even, and wait for TP2 to hit. But it went based on the spread, depending, and the USR has a bigger spread than most. You had exited 9% here. The other, maybe the other 40% of your 50, and then let the rest ride. And as you could see, it went down and then went back to your entry price. Okay, and after that, it continued up. Okay, so that's still a win. And based on the thought process, same thing. It's on my list. Wait for the setup. Okay, give me a sell. Go back on my chart. Enigmas give me a sell. And this is a feature that I didn't explain yet, is diffusion. Diffusion give you the overall trend based on the higher time frame. Okay, so if it's aligned with my fusion, I take the trade. Okay, with other confluences, but this is still a win. Perfect. Let's go on the list. We got GCAD. Do I have GCAD here? Yes, GCAD. Let's look at GCAD. That was a sell setup. GCAD. That was on the 28th. At the same time. Let's do a replay. Whoops. There you go. Let's look at it. GCAD. So that's midnight candle. This is the candle that gives me the setups. There you go. Entry price. Let's look at the entry price here if it's correlate with what we're seeing on the chart. So 57.85. It's saying perfect. So that's the setup. Same thing. You have the decision to do a pending order or a market execution. And let's say you do a pending order and it doesn't hit your pending order, leave it alone. Don't chase the market. If you're in your thought process, you thought it's gonna go in back to the entry price shown, and it didn't touch it, leave it alone. Or if you go on the lower time frame, let's look at the lower time frame and see exactly a better entry than on the hourly setup. I'm just going to continue the replay, and then we're going to look at the overall setup here. So it went to TP3. Okay. So that was a pretty good setup, and after that it went to TP even 10 or 11. If you write it out, the full partial of your profit. When I put my 90% here, when I close out 90%, the rest I really don't mind. Okay. I never when I remove 9%, I never put my I never move my break even when after my TP1. So in this example, my stop loss is my break even, and never went to my break even price and continue down. So my 90%, my 10% that is still on will continue here until I see the market reversing. And on top of that, you have another entry, another setup here for a sell, and that one hit TP3 too. Okay. It's showing now. Okay. Trade manager setup. For it, let's see. Yeah, I'll get back to you tomorrow, Leon, on that. We'll show you. We'll look at it for the setups here on Trade Manager. Um, Tomorrow. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So let's look at the time. Okay, so it's going to be 4 in a couple of seconds. So hopefully, okay, it's 4 right now. Okay, so let's look. I'm pretty sure that we have setups here. Yeah. Okay, so we have sell GBP JPY. Okay, so this is a free signal for any free members right now. So Sherry Chu, the setup, so we could see exactly the how it works. So GJ. Okay, so we have GJ, same principle. This the 3-hour candle closed, give you an entry. You have stop loss and you have the TP zones. Okay, so you have the option to enter at market execution. Right now, it's going back up, but this is the TP zone. So the exercise that you need to look at to do on your end is to So would I take it on market execution or pending order for a sell? Okay. So let's look at first where we are in the market. So I'm just gonna put a line right here. Okay. Go on a weekly. First, to see exactly if it makes sense to take the trade for sell. Okay. So here we had it was an expansion here, went back down, and now it's considered as a higher low situation here. Okay. So that's pretty good. So that's give me a framework of okay, it's still going down. The fusion is going down still on the H4 on the weekly. Okay, the fusion is always looking at what you're seeing right now. Okay, the chart that you're selecting. So we're looking at the weekly chart. So let's go on the 4-hour. Four-hour is looking bearish too. I'm expecting to have the price going in this region here. So that's a good sign. Go back on a 1-hour. So I may go on a market execution on that, but for a more explanation on what I would look at is more yes, exactly, Leon. So you see that was on the 4 hour, right? That you saw the order block. Was it on the 4 hour one? When I see this, when I talk about this region, right? So let's go on the lower time frame. I'm gonna go. Usually, I go on the 15-minute. So 1 hour bullish arrow. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So what I'm expecting here, if I'm going on the lower time frame, I'm gonna go on the 15 or the 5. Let's look at the 5. I see this region here. So what is the price here? So go back on the 1 hour. I'm going to put a horizontal line on the 1 hour. That's the entry price right here. Let's go to 15. So in that case, based on that, I would do a pending order for sell. Okay. But I'm not telling you exactly to enter the trade on a sell. I'm just telling you exactly the framework of what I'm doing to enter the market okay. So now it's almost close to the pending order price. So this is exactly the framework that I do to enter the market. I go on the higher time frame to see, okay, if it makes sense to take the trade, go on the 1 hour, and then I go on the lower time frame to enter the market. And if you did a pending order, you should be filled right now. Yes, I would consider that as a order block. But what I'm expecting is it needs to be the price needs to fill to continue to a downtrend. If you go on the lower time frame, I would expect the price to go here in this region and go back down. And that's on the 15 minutes. But it may still go like a little bit up to the entry price and go back down. But since your stop loss is right here, I'm not expecting the price to go in this region yet. So I'm expecting at least TP1 and TP2 on that one. But you decide, you make your decision on that. And that's about it for today. So I hope that you guys love this session here. So if you were late on the session, make sure to watch the replay. Could be on my channel or DreDayFX. This is my channel's name, or on the DreDayFX official channel. So you could look at every Thursday session to see exactly what was done and see the aftermath afterwards. So if you have any questions, don't be shy to answer to let me know. And if there's no other questions right now, we're gonna close this session here. So no problem, Leon. Thank you to be here. Perfect. So yeah, so we'll revisit the trade manager afterwards, Leon. I'll look into it here for you. Could be during the day, so bear with me. I'm maybe sleeping or something. So so just bear with me. I'll get back to you for sure. Okay. So if there's no other questions, I'm gonna close the session here. So talk to you soon, guys, and happy trading. And be aware, it's the end of the month. This is the last day of the month. So and tomorrow is the first day of the month. So make sure to to trade properly here. Okay. So talk to you soon.